Regarding Jeffrey Epstein, I have two questions. One, why is it taking so long to see the files? And two, why don't we believe the women?
Let's cut to it. Speaker Johnson is protecting pedophiles. That's what this is all about.
Here's what we know. Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell procured underage girls, possibly hundreds of them. And dozens of men attended parties where these young girls were present. And some of these men sexually assaulted them.
I kept my underwear on.
There are hundreds of allegations against men like the pervert formerly known as Prince, Andrew. And here's a picture of him with Virginia Giuffre, who said she was raped dozens of times and also by Prince Andrew. Her book was recently released posthumously as she took her own life in the aftermath of these assaults.
Abuse that Virginia writes from, quote, came from a multitude of powerful men.
And of course, one of Epstein's closest friends was this guy.
Trump admitted he knew Epstein for 15 years, even stating that Epstein, quote, likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side.
But here's my real question. Why aren't we believing these women who were attacked? Giuffre's new book details the sexual abuse by Epstein and his friends on her, the 16-year-old girl. Now, as I said, there were possibly hundreds like her, some of whom said Trump was involved. Giuffre worked with Wallace to tell her story and how the abuse affected her, with, of course, the tragic epilogue of her suicide earlier this year.
How much was edited out? Like, how many names of perpetrators were actually edited out for myriad reasons?
Well, you know, the purpose of her book was never to write a list of names. The list of names exists. It exists in the FBI files. It exists in the Epstein files, as we now call them. She had named many names in depositions already that have been made public. There are 4 different document dumps that there are many, many names in those. The goal of the book was to take you inside the experience of a 16-year-old girl who is swept into this world of predation. Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein trafficking these girls and young women to their friends. And it's Virginia's experience from being abused very terribly in her young life, escaping, becoming a mom and a wife, and then becoming an advocate for others. So obviously, names are of interest to people. Any victim has to weigh the back and forth of the cost and the payoff of naming a name to try to hold your abusers to account, and then what comes with that. So loss of privacy, loss of safety. In Virginia's case, she had a death threat that the FBI called and told her was verified. You know, she had people breaking into her house. So this wasn't a paranoia on her part. She knew that there were dangers. And so with every different scene in the book, I know all the names that are there, but every different scene she had to make a decision about whether or not she was going to rename or name these people.
And so again, the same question. What men took part, and why is Trump hiding the names? And why did Trump make the Florida prosecutor, Alexander Acosta, the new Secretary of Labor? This is a guy who gave Epstein a slap on the wrist for having sex with a minor. And after all we heard about Ghislaine Maxwell not only seducing these young girls into Epstein's world, but also participating in the attacks, why would Trump say this about her?
Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison, and so a lot of people want to know if she's going to turn in powerful people. And I know you've talked in the past about Prince Andrew, and you've criticized Bill Clinton's behavior. I'm wondering, do you feel that she's going to turn in powerful men? How do you see that working out?
I don't know. I haven't really been following it too much. I just wish her well, frankly.
I've read the book, and these stories are fucking brutal. The abuse these young girls endured at the hands of these powerful men has Democrats and Republicans all saying the same thing. Who's hiding what? While Congress has been pushing for the DOJ to release the Epstein files, Republicans are keeping the government closed. Why? A new poll says they're getting their asses kicked over the commitment to end subsidies for the Affordable Care Act premiums. So it seems likely the government is shut down, not because of these premiums being cut, but instead to stall a bipartisan bill that will release the full files. Now, Speaker Mike Johnson told Politico he would support a floor vote for the discharge petition, but Johnson won't swear in Congressman-elect Adelita Grijalva from Arizona, who has publicly stated she'll vote for the files to be released.
Forcing Speaker Johnson's hand on the Epstein investigation. In a major escalation tonight, the Attorney General of Arizona and Congresswoman-elect Adelita Grijalva of Arizona are suing Mike Johnson, and they're suing him because Grijalva has not been sworn in. So what does all this have to do with Jeffrey Epstein? Because it does at its heart. Grijalva is the final vote needed for a bipartisan maneuver called a discharge petition that goes around Johnson, goes around Johnson because he does not want a vote to release the full Epstein files. This would go around him, get that vote to release the files.
And Representative Thomas Massey, a Republican from Kentucky, informed the House Judiciary Committee that he believes the FBI knows the identities of at least 20 individuals linked to Epstein's sex trafficking network. But still, no names. Now, this is the Kunti Kash Patel saying that despite the testimonies of more than a dozen young girls and travel logs and photographs, well, listen.
Who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these young women to besides himself?
Himself. There is no credible information. None.
Fuck you, you pustulant skin tag. These women, despite death threats and the shame, came forward and you say this?
If there were, I would bring the case yesterday.
So the answer is no one?
For the information that we have.
And Senator Cory Booker pushed this inept incel to tell the truth by reminding him that Trump will eventually turn on him too. And Adam Schiff follows up by asking why Ghislaine Maxwell keeps getting special treatment.
Donald Trump has shown us in his first term and in this term, he is not loyal to people like you. He will cut you loose. You can try all you want
in this country.
to not take responsibility for what you have said.
Time.
Sir, you're making a mockery of this committee. Not afraid of you,
Mr. Chairman.
Not afraid of you.
She's transferred to a minimum security prison not suitable for a sex offender like herself. Who made that decision and why?
The Bureau of Prisons.
You want the American people to believe that? Do you think they're stupid?
No, I think the American people believe the truth. And we have countlessly proven you to be a liar in Russiagate, in January 6th. You are a political buffoon at best.
January 6th, Russiagate? Do these morons not understand we have this thing called video?
Fuck these Democrats! Where's that?
We need to stop these other foreign countries, and Russia's not the only one, there are others, from trying to influence the American people in our elections.
I accept our intelligence community's conclusion that Russia's meddling in the 2016 election took place.
Their assessment of 2016 is accurate. It's 100% accurate. The Russians interfered in our elections. Not only that, I believe they will do so again in the future.
So let's summarize. As we know, Trump can release the files. In fact, he said he would.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would. I'd be inclined to do the Epstein. I'd have no problem with it.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing.
Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list. Put on your big boy pants and let us know who the pedophiles are.
I think tomorrow, Jesse, breaking news right now, you're going to see some Epstein information being released by my office. It's sitting on my desk right now to review. A truckload of evidence arrived. It's now in the possession of the FBI. It's a new day. It's a new administration, and everything's going to come out.
Bondi, Patel, Johnson are all backtracking from their original statements. But that begs this simple question. If Trump is free of any complicity in this nightmare, why won't he release these files? He's already been caught lying about his relationship with Epstein.
When reporters ask Donald Trump about Jeffrey Epstein, he often deflects or ignores the questions. But we fact-checked some of the times where he addressed those questions head-on. On July 15th, Trump was asked why his administration has not released as many files as promised.
These files were made up by Comey, they were made up by Obama, they were made up by the Biden information,
This is false. The files are real. The Justice Department has said there's over 300 gigabytes of records and other evidence related to its investigations into Jeffrey Epstein. Many of those documents have already been released. Secondly, those investigations did not occur under Comey, Biden, or Obama. The FBI first investigated Jeffrey Epstein in 2006 and reached a plea deal with him a year later. The president then was George W. Bush. Then in 2019, the Justice Department began investigating Epstein's plea deal. The president during that was Donald J. Trump. So there's no evidence that Comey, Biden, or Obama, quote unquote, made up the files.
In 2021, as part of Ghislaine Maxwell's trial, it was revealed that Donald Trump lied about riding on Epstein's plane. He actually flew on it 7 times.
You know, it's hard to imagine what these young girls endured at the hands of Epstein and these powerful men. But DeFray's book will make you wish for 2 things. 1, we start believing these brave women, and 2, we unleash hell on those responsible, as well as the monsters protecting them.
Whether the women like it or not, you're a nasty person.
Go fuck yourself.
Goddamn right.
I think the president is definitely f***ing Satan.
They know how to get to me.
I kept my underwear on.
A witch hunt.
Suck my fat one.
They had what?
Who are you talking to?
I don't want to talk about this stuff.
Am I wrong? Yes.
Tick-tock!
You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
I think he's crazy. So this is the guy that peddles in garbage.
I'm Chip Franklin.